All right, guys, Adrian Conway here, and this is another brute shoot. I feel like it's been a long time since we've done one. It probably hasn't been a long time since you've seen one, but I probably look a little different. I got a nice no hair, facial hair. You notice this? That means the CrossFit Games are near. You can see that the brutes are coming to Madison. So it's getting close. But I'm not going to talk about that today. I'm actually going to talk about an element of programming, or an aspect of programming, and also the way that an athlete follows that said programming. So the thing that we're going to address is how or what kind of athlete are you? Are you the kind of athlete that needs a direct roadmap, or are you the kind of athlete that needs a compass? Right? And each one of these situations has great benefits. And I could be talking to one particular kind of athlete, or I could be talking to everyone out there in this aspect. And my goal is that I'm actually talking to everyone. I hope that everyone out there is following a program that creates an intent for you, that has workout explanations or desired goals or a stimulus to hit, right? Because what this does is it creates guidelines for you so that you can start to establish an expectation and an understanding for what the workout's purpose may be. And you'll even start to see a big picture of the direction that the program should be taking you. Now, the reason that this is important is because not every day is a sunny day, right? I've had several conversations with athletes that I both train in person and that I train remotely, where it could be a Wednesday, it could be a Thursday, the middle of the week, right? Where you've already done several lifts, you've already done several conditioning sessions. Maybe life is just crazy. You got children and you're not caught up on your sleep. Maybe your business is struggling, or it's been a great week, but it's been really busy, and so you're very distracted, and or cortisol levels are high. All of these things, and you can get this painted picture, are leading towards a deterrent in performance, right? And you might just feel tired. You might literally feel a bit run down. But then let's say you walk into that gym and you see that there's a test, and the test might be a 10-minute calorie test on the assault bike. Like, everyone gets this nasty feeling in their belly, or this queasy feeling, or this nervous feeling, like getting ready for something like that. Or let's even switch the roles and say that it's a 1-rep max deadlift attempt, or building to a 2-rep max deadlift, right? Switch the stimulus up just a touch. When you're feeling run down and beat up, what decision do you make? Right? And how do you know what's the appropriate decision to make? A lot of you guys are out there following programs that you don't have access to a personal coach. So you can't just text me. You can't just call me, right? You can't just get a direct idea of like, hey, coach, what can I sub right now immediately? I'm about to go hit this workout, and today is just not one of those days. I'm worried that I'm going to either hurt myself, or I'm worried that it's just going to be completely pointless. Do you think I should force myself through it? Or what are your expectations? A lot of you guys don't have access to coaches that way. And so my goal is for you to not only rely on programming as a map where you need details, specific details to get you in the direction that you want to go, but start to have an understanding and a grasp and the concept of your training so that you can use it more of a compass. The athlete that can trust and utilize their programming as a compass can start to make self-decisions and guide themselves on difficult days like that and still allow it to be productive. And what I mean by that is, okay, I might not be feeling up to that 2-rep max, that 1-rep max deadlift, but what I do know is that my coach wants to put an emphasis on pulling, and this might have been supposedly a testing day, but what I can turn this into is more of a training day and a day for me to gain some mental confidence and still allow my body physically to catch up to where it needs to be in order to move forward with the rest of the week. So maybe instead of doing that 2-rep max deadlift, maybe I decide that I'm going to lighten the load down to 75 to 80%, and I'm going to do several sets of speed pulls. This is going to allow me to understand that, okay, I'm still working the movement, I'm still working the same movement pattern. Certainly I'm not going to get these testing numbers, but when I report back to my coach, I'm going to be giving him data that at least allows him to know that, hey, coach, I didn't do this, but I subbed this, and I'm pretty certain that it won't affect the stimulus or the goal for tomorrow because it's so similar by means of application. If you can't do the assault bike test and you're like, listen, this is going to be like 30 calories less than I've ever done, I just don't have the juice today. Well, maybe you break that 10-minute chunk of a max effort and you break it into intervals. So maybe we're doing 2 minutes on, 30 seconds off for 5 rounds, where we're going to try to keep the intensity of the RPMs as high as possible that's sustainable throughout. You're still getting a great training session in. You're still building the same modality, right? The assault bike or the, whatever kind of bike that you're training with, and you're still building the same muscle groups. It's just not that forced, that stressed test that you are going to have to take part in. So the whole purpose of this is for you guys, one, hopefully you're following a program that you have access to the intent, the purpose, the stimulus, right? It's important for you guys to understand this and not just be mindlessly following these random workouts that are getting presented to you, because it's gonna help guide you. And in these situations, you'll be that athlete that is empowered and has the knowledge to use that compass internally if you don't have access to your roadmap, right? If you don't have access to that coach on a daily basis and a moment-to-moment basis, use that compass and guide your training. If you guys are out there and you're looking for a program that is gonna help guide you and educate you in that facet, log on to Brute Strength Training and check it out. Every day we do a really hardworking job, hopefully a great job, of guiding the intent and the purpose of all of our workouts to help educate these guys on that if they do need to meander around some difficulties, injuries, limitations, time limitations, then they're gonna be empowered to do so. So which athlete are you? Do you need a roadmap or can you trust your compass?